Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great milestone of rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan, coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Just a quick update here. Basically showing, which many of you all probably done already saw, some of the clips of Jamaica, how it is right now, and the storm is basically heading to Cuba side and so forth and whatnot. Alright, now we know also that this is going to bring a lot of poverty to these people, and it's going to also cause a lot of crime afterwards, right? Because of the lack of bread, lack of food and so forth. And these devils, they will have a chance now to basically implement their MOTB, which that is coming very soon. Alright, because we already see this gearing up for wars. Alright, because the MOTB have to come first before World War III kicks off. Alright, those of you who don't know what the MOTB is the RFID, alright, CHIP, alright, and that is the mark of the beast. Okay, and they're going to come in a very clever way to make people want to take it. Alright, so they come with a problem, they get a reaction, and then they come with a solution. Alright, this is how the devil, Esau Edom, so-called white man, operates. Alright, so without further ado, let's see some clips, and you're going to get some scriptures, and Lord willing, it will be edifying to the elect of Israel. And really and truly is the Lord, who doing all these things. Alright, He also using Esau Edom, alright, to also bring across these type of calamities also. Alright, and we will get scriptures for that also, just to prove it. Let's bear with me, Baba Kusha. I have another video to show. Alright, there's another one.
This catastrophe. We are grateful for the patrons of the community who are rendering assistance right now, helping out. Watch your word, people. Watch your word, people. Yes, people. Tap up the live, people, and share the live, people. Please, I'm asking you. This is the Plantain Garden River, and we are in the community and the district of Bad St. Thomas, the Plantain Garden River. And we are also awaiting to see what the island river. Look there, people. See the cars going, people. The guide post. Look there, people. I told you it's going, people. The whole community is going to go, people. Look at it. Look what's happening now, people. Tap up the live, people, and share the live, people. See, that's a car. It's leaving now, people. See there, people? See what's happening on the car. So, people, there's an opening now. There's an entrance for the community of Bad to be washed away. Because that's where all in the first part of it. And now, as we stand here and we see what is happening, people, once that is removed, then it's heading straight into the community of Bad, Bottom Yard, St. Thomas. The shelter is now in danger. The shelter where the people are at Bad community is in danger because now the water is going to be overflowing over into the community where the shelter is. We have another shelter by the top. I hope the people will know after we removed from the shelter that they are in up at Ginger Hall.
Alright, so you're seeing and seeing what taking place there. Alright, and you know, this also remind me of the things that happen in California and whatnot, you know, with the fires. Alright, and then, you know, Esau came and said, well, you know, he's going to build over the place, but 15-minute city, you know, a smart city, you know, and you know, this is also part of Esau plan. Alright, now let's come back here.
If you had a bunch of chemicals and you built a tower, could you make it rain?
No.
Well, that's the subject of tonight's Weird Weather.
In the early 1900s, there was a gentleman who said he could make it rain. Charles M. Hatfield. Well, he said for $50 he could deliver. Well, Los Angeles farmers said, we need rain. Will you make it rain? He did, and they were so happy, they paid him $100. Well, there was a lake in the area, Lake Hemet. He said for $4,000 he could deliver 4 inches of rain. So he made this tower and he mixed up some chemicals. Guess what? 11 inches of rain fell and it rose 22 feet. Operators say it was the best bargain they'd ever had. There was another area that needed it. San Diego City contracted him to fill Lake Marina in 1 year. If he did it, $10,000. If not, he didn't get a penny. January 1st, he put his towers up and started sending his chemicals away. January 5th, it began to rain. January 10th, heavy rain kept going. And by January 15th, it had been a downpour for nearly 5 days.
Okay, so the rain did come, and apparently it was Hatfield that was doing it, but look what happened after that. On the 19th, Marina Reservoir filled. The 26th, record-breaking rains were still falling, and the next day, dams were rupturing, huge amounts of water pouring out of the mountains, heading into San Diego. 20 people lost their lives. 35 inches of rain fell that month. Well, you can imagine there were lawsuits in the millions. The city council says, nope, we're not going to pay. Hatfield said, I'll settle for $4,000. Council said no. It went to the California Supreme Court. They...
Are you seeing, you know, the technology they had back then? Alright, because the Lord, same way how the scripture go, he created the smith that blew the coals in the furnace. He created these scientists, alright, to create these type of devices and whatnot, to basically bring forth these type of storms and whatnot. Now yes, it does come from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because he controls all these things, alright, and they are actually his weapon on the left hand side, right? Let's just get a quick precept here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 39. It says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. Alright, this is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai speaking here. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai saying that he kills and he makes alive. Alright, he has the power in his hand. I wound and I heal. Alright, so all the calamities that you're seeing right now taking place with the storm and, you know, around the world, people losing their lives, people getting sick, you know, whatever aches, pains that you have on your body, the Lord is the one that implements these things. He's the one that makes these things happen to you. Alright, it says, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Right? So no one could deliver you out of the Lord's hand. Alright, when the Lord called your number, that is it here. Alright, and he called what? Jamaica number right now, for Jamaica to go through this birth pain. Alright, these calamities, these stressed out times. Alright, and many of these places that are holding people, you know, they are also being damaged right now. So a lot of people basically lose their homes. Alright, some people won't be able to, some people might fly out, had to be taken out of the country into another country, somewhere that they don't know about. Alright, and basically change their life around, you know, or actually have to submit and go with the flow that Esau wants them to go with. Alright, because this devil is just basically making a whole trench around our people, gathering them up to himself to destroy them. Alright, the scriptures say my people are led as sheep to the slaughter. You know, that's roughly paraphrasing. Alright, verse 40, it says, for I lift up my hand to heaven and say I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, and that word whet goes into what? Sharpen. Alright, the Lord is sharpening his sword. He basically already sharpened his sword. He saw Edom. Alright, and we're going to see who's that sword just now in the book of Psalms. Right, if I whet my glittering sword, so the Lord is basically saying what? Well, he's sharpening his sword right now, his sword on his left hand side, and my hand take hold on judgment. I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. Alright, for those that hate the Lord, the things that are happening right now to them is like things like this. Alright, the storm, all these things. Alright, these are people that hate Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Alright, and hey, again, Lord willing, you know, Abarataza, the Lord keep those brothers who's over there in Jamaica, the brothers who in GMS who preaching this gospel with truth and sincerity. Alright, and warning the people for the wickedness they have done and why these judgments are happening to them right now. May the Lord protect those brothers. Alright, Bahashem Yahushai. Alright, now let's go to the book of Psalms 17 and verse 13. Alright, it says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right, so you remember we read in Deuteronomy just now, the sword, the Lord whet his glittering sword. Right, that is this sword here. Alright, is a man, alright, by the name of Esau Edom. Also goes by these elites, you know, the top banking families, you know, the Syrians and so forth. Alright, all of them is cut from that same cloth. Alright, they are evil, they are wicked. Alright, and they control weathers and all these things too. You know, they're bringing all these things right now for some time now. Alright, why? Because when they want a place, they take it by violence. Alright, Micah 2:2. Okay, so let's watch another video real quick.
Researchers are creating their own storms in a state-of-the-art lab. It could end up saving lives. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. This tank gives scientists and the rest of us a view no one has ever had before. What a hurricane's power looks like at water level as it storms ashore. In just 2 minutes, scientists here can take calm waters and turn them into a monster hurricane.
Alright, so you're just seeing what taking place here. Alright, these people have their own simulation for this stuff. They are this cloud seeding. You know, they have the machine that does create earthquakes. You know, the Lord basically gave them that understanding, you know. If one had a chime on that one. You know, the Lord gave them that understanding, that wisdom to know how to create and build these things. Alright, in order to do what? In order to fulfill prophecy. Alright? Because the Lord, you know, He will have His angels, yes, He will bring His rain, He will bring His storms and all these things, but it have the particular ones that will come across that He let Esau, alright, create these things and push forth these type of things, alright, onto his people. Why? Because our people today, they still rebellious and still denying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, although they see the prophets are on the prophets on the highways and byways preaching this gospel, they still deny it, they still refuse to turn back to him. Alright? So therefore the Lord is going to bring more calamities upon you all.
The wind is gradually getting stronger and stronger as it's coming up here, and it's ramping up to a Category 5. It's probably about a Category 3 right now.
This 75-foot-long tank is the first simulator in the world capable of creating a Category 5 hurricane over water. Brian House is the director of the University of Miami's new laboratory at the Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science.
And I realize how the other storm is, Melissa. You know, it's a Category 5, and you see how slow it's moving. It's taking its gracious time. So it's making sure and take down a lot of things. You know, these people from the first video I showed, you know, these people have technology from back then. Alright? Now they have even more advanced technology. Alright? They even use it with what, lasers. Alright?
Scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College. I mean, lasers? Really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Did you know the U.S. once turned the sky into a secret weapon? During the Vietnam War, the U.S. launched a top-secret program to control the weather, and it actually worked. Operation Popeye used cloud seeding technology. Aircraft dispersed silver iodide particles into storm clouds to trigger heavy rainfall by speeding up the condensation process. The goal was to extend the monsoon season, flood the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and cripple North Vietnamese supply routes with non-stop mud and rain. From 1967 to 1972, this weather war was waged silently. And reports claim it increased rainfall by 30% in targeted zones. It only came to light when documents were declassified decades later, sparking outrage and leading to a global ban on weather warfare. In 1977, the United Nations banned using weather for warfare. But the question remains, if we did it once, could we do it again? Operation Popeye was real, and it...
You know, and they always do it. You know, they always do it because things like this is one of the reasons why they take people lands. You know, they might come and they offer you, you know, a certain amount of money for the area and tell you, well, you know, they will pay off the citizens, you know, and remove them from there. Give them a different location to go to live and whatnot. You know, they will come very sweetly and nicely and speak sweetly, speak smooth words unto you for you to believe and trust them. You know, but if you deny them, they will try to take that no matter however they could. Alright? And they're going to take it by violence. Right? They're not going to do it in a way where they physically coming to remove you, but they will do it in a way like if so-called Mother Nature, what they just call Mother Nature is really and truly is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, but what they call Mother Nature, they will say, well, hey, Mother Nature took it, so you know, no one lives there anymore. Let's go and claim it. You know, so they have their ways they do things, all right, and they continuously do it over and over because it's something that always works, all right, for them. Matter of fact, let me come here. This is Psalms 36 and 3. It says, the words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He has left off to be wise and to do good. He devised mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorred not evil. Alright? These devils, they always come, they always try, deceiving ways to come and try to remove you from your spot. They try all kind of different things. These people, they have enough knowledge, enough experience of doing something over and over and over that they get so good at it. Alright? And they also deceiving their own selves. Right? Because it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that controlling their minds and causing them to do this type of wickedness and whatnot. Alright? This is Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. Alright? It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Alright? So the Lord is the one that controlling these devils. Alright? To do these things. As we read in Psalms, and in Deuteronomy, the Esau is that sword. Alright? On the left hand side, doing these type of evils. Alright? So you see in the level of things taking place. Let's see if I can get another scripture real quick before I close it off. Let's go Psalms 38. And verse 12. It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares. What these snares are? Traps, right? For me. And they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things, and imagine deceit all the day long. Right? This is the mindset of Esau Edom, so-called white man. Alright, this is the type of things that he look forward to do. Alright, the scripture talk about, he do basically, he don't feel, just roughly paraphrasing, he don't feel good if it is he don't do any mischief. He can't sleep. He have to do some sort of mischief. Alright, let's come here. Let's get Proverbs on this side. Proverbs chapter 4 and 16. It says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. Right? This man is a very evil man, a very violent man, a very wicked man. Right? Because they want to, I have another one here. They want to push that whole agenda, on Jamaica now.
Change the rules of.
Listen up. As we all know, Jamaica is getting hit with a Category 5 hurricane right now, and it is not looking good. There's a lot of flooding. It's bad. Some of us have already picked up the pattern, but every time there's a event like this, it's because of a smart city. And wouldn't you know it, Vision 2030 Jamaica. It's a new city project from the ground up to address overcrowding and infrastructure strain, and a demonstration project in New Kingston to test and implement smart technologies. This goes right along with Agenda 2030. Vision 2030 Jamaica long-term development plan and aligned with sustainable development goals. See, it's the same. Sustainable development goals. This will include AI infrastructure, biometric tracking, and of course data centers, which we also know are being built in the United States right now. Because why? Agenda 2030 is coming here too. We're seeing the start of that with how everybody's about to be hungry. Control the food, control the people. Now let's look at this document, because there's always a document, right? 1996, Air Force made this. Weather as a force multiplier. owning the weather in 2025. In 2025, U.S. aerospace forces can own the weather by capitalizing on emerging technologies and focusing development of those technologies to war-fighting applications. The purpose of this paper is to outline a strategy for the use of a future weather modification system to achieve military objectives rather than to provide a detailed technical roadmap. Agenda 2030 will bring universal basic income. You will solely rely on the government for everything. And if you don't comply, you will be locked out of the system. Agenda 2030.
Alright, and although they're calling it Agenda 2030, you know, it don't have to happen that time, because the speed that the Lord speeding up things, you know, He doing it for the elect's sake. Alright? So these devils might have it in their mind 2030. Guess what? It don't have to be no 2030. It could be even for way before that. Right? The pace they go in with their wars, the pace they go in with their technology and whatnot, it's really quick. They're moving. Alright, they already created these humanoid robots and whatnot. But hey, we coming up to that time. We're coming up to that time where, you know, these things are going to come into play, because you're losing people. You're losing, you know, people losing their lives, people losing their jobs, people losing, you know, their homes. All right, and they're going to come with this same system to say, well, you know, they're going to implement a basic income, you know, for everyone, because everyone lost all this stuff and whatnot. So they will come and say, well, hey, this is the solution now we come in with. After all these things took place, we come in to help you all now. All right, but hey, as the scripture say, never trust thy enemy. All right, never trust thy enemy, because this is what he wants to do. He wants to imprick a CHIP into your hand or into your forehead, so you will become his. He will have control over you, and he will be able to mark you for everything that you do. He will be able to destroy you when he wants, and so forth. Alright, let's get our script here real quick. This is the book of Micah 2:1. It says, woe to the oppressors. The headline says, judgment against wealthy oppressors. It says in the KJV, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Alright, so these devils on a roll. Alright, this way of their thinking and this way how they live and they operate is something that they have been doing since the Roman times. Alright, they have been doing the same thing. It's the same thing today, not new under the sun. Alright, so always keep in mind of these devils. Never trust thy enemy. I hope this lesson here was edifying to the elect of Israel. I like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan signing out, and I will say Shalom and Abad Babal.